Okay, let's go on and check our weekly math warm-up that we do every day just to keep those basic skills fresh in our mind for this Georgia Milestones that's coming up pretty fast. The first one we have is 7,648 plus 5,173. Line your numbers up according to where they are on the place value chart. Start in your ones column. 8 plus 3, 11. Carry your 1. 7 plus 4, 11 plus 1 is 12. Carry your 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. And 7 plus 5 is 12. 12,821. What place is the 8 in? We would say hundreds place. Talking about where it's located on the place value chart. If I asked you the value of that 8, you would say 800. You want a number there. Place and value. So 12,821. Be sure you put that comma where you say the word thousand. Oops. Okay. 4,000 minus 300, or 4,000 minus 3,899. 4,000 minus 3,899. Notice you're going to be borrowing across zero, so don't let this confuse you. I can't do this. Nobody to borrow. Nothing here to borrow. Got to go over here and borrow. Take that group of 10 you just borrowed from the thousands place, regroup it over here to the hundreds place. 10 plus 0 is 10. Go back and analyze your problem. I still can't work any of this. There's still nothing to borrow, but I do have something I can borrow from my hundreds place. Borrow a group of 10, regroup it to the tens place. 10 plus 0 is 10. Go back and analyze and evaluate that problem again. I still cannot take 9 away from nothing, but I do have something to borrow from. Take a group of 10 away from the tens place. Regroup it to the ones place. Now I have a problem that I can work. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 8 is 1. 3 minus 3 is 0. So 101. Be very careful when you are borrowing and regrouping across those zeros. Take it one step at a time so you don't leave anything out. Make sure that your work on the back of your paper looks just like this one. Okay? All right, Riley had $140, so that's the total. If we were to do the RDW method that we've learned, read it, draw it, write it, I'd probably draw out a tape diagram showing a total of $140. She gave Austin half of the money, and she kept the rest. I think there's a misprint in this. She gave Austin half of the money, and she kept the rest. Let's take out 2 Tina. That doesn't make sense. Okay, sometimes there's typos in these. Riley had $140. She gave Austin half of the money. So we know to divide our tape diagram into 2 equal parts. Okay. She kept the rest. How much money did each person get? Well, this would be Austin, and this would be Riley. Okay. So you need to think, well, 140 is too many dots to draw out. So think, what 2 numbers could we add together to get 140? Basically, you're taking 140 and dividing it by 2. Okay? I'm going to show you the division way. We haven't done long division like this. 2 will go into 14 7 times. Multiply it back. 7 times 2 is 14. Subtract, bring down. 2 will go into 0 0 times. So we're looking at $70 each. Okay. Now, That's kind of taking it a step further than what we do. We know that if we add 70 and 70, we're going to get $140. We know that if we multiply 70 times 2, we're going to get $140. 7 times 2 is 14. There's that 0, so $140. So how much money does each person get? $70. Okay. And sorry about that typo in there. All right, let's go to the next one. Use the box method, the break apart, the distributive property with this. So if we have 433 times 3, we got to figure out what that is. This is where knowing the place and the value of each digit comes in, because you break apart this number. I can see that that number 433 has 3 digits. So the value is 400. The value of this one is 30. The value of this one is 3. And we're going to multiply each one of those that we just broke apart by 3. Find your basic fact. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. I see these 2 zeros here, so 400 times 3 has got to be 1200. 3 times 3 is 9. I see my 0, so 30 times 3 has got to be 90. And then again, 3 times 3 is 9. Now, because we're using the break apart or the distributive property, you've got to go back and add those back together. So make sure you line them up according to where they are on the place value chart. 1200 plus 90 plus 9. 0 plus 0 plus 9 is 9. 0 plus 9 again is 9. 2 plus nothing is 2. And 1 plus nothing is 1. So 1,299. Using the distributive method, the break apart method, sometimes you'll see this called the box strategy, okay, to multiply these larger numbers. Now I'm going to show you the old-fashioned way. This is the way Miss Edwards was taught and your mamas and daddies were taught. And once you have the other method, the break apart distributive method, try this method. You'll get into this in the 4th grade. So 433 times 3. Everything on the bottom you have to multiply by on the top. So we know that 3 times 3 is 9. Again, we know 3 times 3 is 9. And we know 3 times 4 is 12. So 1,299. Same answer. Old-fashioned way or the box method way. Okay. Next one we have division. 108 divided by 9. Remember to say your dividend or what's in the box first. Your dividend is the larger number that's being divided up equally. This is your divisor. It's the one that's doing all the work. Now, think Bill. I've got 108 and I've got a 9. Okay? 108 and I have a 9. You've got to figure out what our missing factor is. If you can do the division related fact that goes with this, do it. 9 will go into 10 one time. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 will go into 18 2 times. 2 times 9 is 18. Okay, so you can see that it is 12. Again, this is something you'll do in 4th grade. I'm just trying to introduce you to it now. But you should know that 9 times 12 gives you 108. So our missing quotient in this case is 12. And it's a quotient because we were doing a division problem. Create an example that describes the commutative property. Use 2 plus 3. Okay. Well, you know that the commutative property of 2 plus 3 is 3 plus 2. So if you just want to draw a picture, I could have 2 plus 3 equals 3 plus 2 Then I could do 5 here equals 5 and know that that's adding. If you wanted to draw me a picture, I hate for y'all to really draw groups because we do so much multiplying with our groups. So let's just do our linear equation here. 2 plus 3 equals 3 plus 2. Make a picture that shows 6/8 of something. Don't make it any harder than it has to be. Just draw your fraction bar. Divide it into 8 parts because that is what my denominator tells me. You know that each one is 1/8. If you think about the manipulatives we've used throughout our fraction module. And then if I want to show 6/8, I will just shade in 6 of them. And then go ahead and show your parents. 8/8 equals 1 whole. Okay. We shaded 6/8. That means we have 2 8s left. This is just decomposing that whole. 6 8s plus 2 8s equals 8 8s. Which triangles appear to have obtuse angles? Remember, obtuse angles are these angles that open up wide. They're technically what we call angles greater than 90 degrees. Okay, they're big fat angles. Obtuse angles. This is a right angle. It's straight up and down. Here's my angle. And then acute angles are little tiny baby angles. They're less than that 90 degree or that less than that right angle. Okay, here's your angle. They're cute little angles. Okay, so I'm looking for the ones that only appear to have, or which triangles appear to be obtuse triangles. Well, there's only one of them. Okay, B has a right angle. C has acute angles. D has a right angle and acute angles. These are acute angles over here. These are all acute angles. So the only one it can be is A. If you notice, A's opened up just a little bit more than a right angle. Okay, so it's triangle A only. All right, and what is equivalent to 3 hours and 12 minutes? Well, you know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. 2 hours is 120 minutes. 3 hours is 180 minutes. But I've got 3 hours, 12 minutes. So I need to add another 12 minutes to this. So let's take our 180 plus 12. 0 plus 2 is 2. 8 plus 1 is 9. 1 plus nothing is 1. So 192 minutes is equivalent to 3 hours and 12 minutes. Okay, pretty easy strip today. Really starting to bring in all the different skills and standards that we've learned throughout the year. Keep these fresh on your mind. I will put this up on YouTube so y'all can go watch it. Parents, please make your children some example questions just like these. Don't give them the same numbers. Put different numbers in there. But if you put different numbers in there, that's how they're going to get practice. And the more they practice, just like with a sport, the better they're going to get at it. Okay? Our goal for Georgia Milestones is 525 or better. I know these kids know this stuff. They can do it. They can show everybody that they can get 525 or more on that Georgia Milestones test.